Welcome everybody, my name is Steve Winterfield. I'm the advisor to CISO for Akamai, and having worked with Hunter for a while now, wanted to take a minute and talk to him today about his book, Future State 2025. And so we'll just do a quick interview and let you know what the book is about.
Steve, great to be with you today. I'm so excited. Thank you.
So real quickly, introduce yourself and tell me about, what gave you the opportunity to write the book.
Future State 2025 book is book 6 out of a series, by the way, by Wiley, my publisher. We're the number one tech author for Wiley, the publisher. It's book 6, book 7. We're working on that right now. And by the way, it took about 15 years to get book 1 done, and now we do a new book about every 18 months because things are changing so fast. This insane innovation cycle, disruption cycle, a choppy equity market, a choppy economy, and putting unbelievable, surreal pressures on business technology executives, CEOs, CFOs, COOs, and CIOs, CTOs, CISOs, C-1s. More than ever, and I've been studying leadership for over 30 years. True story, I was working with Gideon Gartner at Gartner as an outside advisor, an outside consultant. 1988-89, I said, Gideon, you need a CIO group. And he says, no, we don't. We want to write a report once and be down and sell it 1,000 times and be down a level or two. It was 10 years later until he cranked up his first CIO group. So I've been networking and working with CIOs for over 30 years, 3 decades. And I knew back in 88, 89, 90 that the CIO was going to be the rock star in the C-suite and the board and the line of business. I just knew it in my blood, in my bones. And we've been tracking trends on a global level since 1992 when I worked on my first global assignment with a company out of Europe and that was outsourcing to, at that time, IBM for one of the very early global outsourcing deals that IBM ever did. But what we see, because I have the largest independent matters, technology executive network across the globe, what we see faster than anyone, faster than the analyst companies, faster than Wall Street's, are buying trends and issues right in the channel by our tech leaders. You ask how many interviews? I've done thousands of interviews to pull together this 200-page book, including collaborations with Stephen M. R. Covey, the genius Stephen R. Covey, and his new book, Trust and Inspire.
Yeah, and it really comes through. When I look back at your references, normally you see a few of those. Just the list of the number of people you included, their insights. Some of them you actually pulled out the discussion. So again, it was like being there in person. What drove you? I mean, when you talk about having thousands of these discussions, what was your criteria to kind of neck that down and get included in the book?
Well, look, first off, I love people. I think in life, you have to realize going through this pandemic and being where we are today, by the way, this is the real new normal. This is it for forever, I can see going forward, innovation, disruption, because we've never seen a technology cycle quite like this. I knew tech was going to change the world. It's doing it at lightning speed now, faster than ever. It's a passion for helping people. I've always had this passion from being a kid or a leader on sports teams. And I decided, you know what? I think technology is going to change the world. It should be on every boardroom agenda. It should be every CEO should be really a technology executive first and foremost. In addition to being a great communicator, the best salesperson, the best marketer, and the best packager and business model inventor as well. It's unparalleled right now what we're going through in this economic cycle, and you're seeing companies being disrupted. Technology companies are being disrupted that you thought were like really rock solid and like doing amazing. They're still growing, but maybe only at 10%, not 50%, right?
Yeah, and I really like you include a lot of statistics in there. How many people that were Fortune 500s that aren't? How many people that had stock prices that are no longer around? A lot of the statistic is evidential in nature, and it was really helpful. So if I had to pick one theme, it's clearly leadership. I did a quick word search, and you talk about leadership over 400 times. So let's talk about leadership. What is a great leader? Is a great leader in technology different? Are there different skills? Is a remote leader, are there different skills there? Talk to me about leadership.
Leadership matters more than ever. Some of our latest research is, into this now 30-month cycle, leadership is paramount, number one. So lead with a strong vision. Understand the business as good as or better than the business does. So current customers, parallel markets and customers, and new markets and customers. Understand where you as a CIO or a tech leader, you have an unfair competitive advantage. You know where the people are, the processes are, and where the data is, right? We know data is gold, data is oil. So number two, think differently. Look at problems that the business is struggling with from a different point of view. Come in with a different point of view and help them reimagine, reinvent internal customer experience and reimagine, reinvent external customer experience. An example might be, I'm a big fan of CVS Health. CVS Health does an incredible job, but at the register you get your coupons for your next visit and the discounts and so forth if you're a card member. By the time you get to your car, you already have a Medallia survey, a customer sat survey. One question: how satisfied were you on today's call? So they're really dialed into the customer, all right? Also, three, help them reimagine, reinvent, and invent new business models, new go-to-markets. Without new thinking, new business models, new go-to-markets, and enhanced customer experience, but enhanced revenue streams. We know what happened to Blockbuster, right? We saw recently what happened to Netflix. The stock got crushed because subscriber growth had slowed so much. Four is be a great brand builder. You have to have a global brand right now. I feel at HMG Strategy, we do it better than anyone else in the world, and we do it for all of our members, all of our advisory board members, conference chairs and speakers, as well as the HMG Actionable Stack members that get our actionable research, our expert-based actionable research. We help build your brand on a global level off our global media model. Five, empathy. Empathy and servant leadership. It's like a whole different dimension. We're going back 20 years ago, everyone loved GE and they loved IBM. Well, we know what happened to GE, we know what happened to IBM, nothing. The stock went down to sideways for a decade, and they're not coming back, I don't think. But you gotta be a nice and likable type person that you wanna really get around and work for with great leadership and great followership. Five is really understand your partner network, who supports your structure and your go-to-market, and become friends with those folks. Really know them so they know you, you know them, and you can operate at a different dimension, a whole different level. Six, you got to be a great communicator, great salesperson with passion and conviction. And finally, seven, this is the biggest thing, Steve. We've all went through this. The ups and downs, right, in a lockdown or a pandemic, endemic, is be kind and nice to yourself and everyone around you. And, the whole thing, the holistic health, mind, body, spirit. Take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit every day. It's how can you be an energetic leader if you don't come to the job rested and focused and well fit for the most incredible ride of your life, but the most challenging time that you could ever imagine. And by the way, all in this book, or to go to hmgstrategy.com and get our newsletter, get our digital feed. You can get these insights and more by digitally connecting and or becoming a client.
Awesome. So I will hammer on one point you said in there, and you and I have talked about this multiple times. The CIO, the CISO needs to be a business partner, not a technology advisor. I can't emphasize that enough. We are part of the business strategy. We might be coming up with a new method, a new way to get to the customer, enhance experience. We're more than just advisors at this point, or you're just not in the right place.
Great CEOs are great marketers. They're passionate. They love their product. They love their service. They love their company. They love their mission and their vision. So often tech leaders, there's one Gartner slide I like. It's Gartner Unauthorized by Tina Nunu. She talks about tech leaders as being introverts and intellectually analytical and essentially not great communicators, where the CEO is up on the upper right-hand side, great communicator, great salesperson, passionate, and a great leader and great that people want to follow. It's really dialing into your style, your leadership style, and and what works for your audience. I don't think that we hit that enough. It's all about leadership, and it's about understanding the business, again, better than the business people do. So we all know kind of the model. I mean, with the Tom Brady model, how did Tom figure it out when he went from high school, from a walk-on to playing college ball, to being one of the best college professional football players ever? He's the most prepared guy in the stadium, right? He sees the whole game, visualizes it way before they enter the stadium, right?
Absolutely. So let's switch gears and not talk about big trends, but what piece of advice would you give a CISO or a CIO about themselves, about their career, developing themselves and being able to be the kind of leader we're talking about?
It's kind of interesting. You and I talked about this at the Silicon Valley Cyber Summit. I'm glad you came out. It was a great summit there. It goes back to some of these philosophers that have been around forever, right? Thousands of years. Know thyself, right? And know what you really want in life. Do the work, do the homework, do the introspection, and the inventory taking, and then come up with a vision for yourself. Where do you see yourself in 1, 3, 5, 10, 20 years? Go out 20 years. Where do you see yourself retiring or not retiring? I always thought I would work right to the very end, kind of like Peter Drucker. And I said, you know what? There'll be some video conferencing. I'll be able to afford a video conference scenario, and I'll do video conferencing, advising for people around the world right to the very end. Well, guess what? Zoom happened. Eric Wan's a good friend and a dear friend. We talk all the time. Zoom happened. Essentially, Zoom's almost free, right? Don't tell Eric I said that. But here's the idea. Have a plan, have a vision, and work towards that. Develop the expertise. Get out of your comfort zone. Too many people don't think through kind of what is the end or what do goals look like, and then get on the limb, do the work and do the hard work, do the reps and make it happen and build the relationships. You can't do it inside your own company, those four walls. Get out and network on our platform, anyone else's platform, but get out and network, make it happen, whether it's digital or in person. When you're traveling, have an open mind, open heart. I also figured this out, Steve, in the pandemic. Gratitude is key. All the great philosophers talked about it. All the modern day motivational people talk about it. I talk about it every day. If you're not grateful in the here and now, guess what? When the real fun stuff happens, you're not going to be in the right mood, and you're going to put out a negative receptor or a negative energy, and it's not going to happen. You got to be grateful. You got to be happy, and it starts here and now. And then, but guess what? You manifest exactly what you want to put out there. It happens. The universe or the world will pay you back 10 times. Does that make sense to you?
It absolutely does. I'll grab one of the quotes that was in the book. The half-life of a skill now is 18 months. And it's really true. If you're in technology, you've got to be learning. You've got to do the work. You have to figure out what's coming up. And it's got to be beyond technology. What's changing in marketing? What's changing with your other business partners? Be involved. So, yeah, absolutely.
Last question.
Oh, I'm sorry. So, give me 3 pieces of advice. Out of that entire book, what are the 3 most important things you'd like to share with people? I hope they still read the book, but if you're Cliff Notes.
Number 1, be positive and a visionary. Stand for something as a thought leader and become known in your industry as a thought leader in 1, 2, 3. One space, just go for it. Do the work, do the research, and be viewed as a thought leader. Go out and talk at conferences, online, write articles, write a blog, write a book. Number 1. And by the way, if you need help getting your book published, call me. I'll help you. 2, network. I can't say enough about networking. People don't get it. They don't teach this to you in school. Why? Because they're in the university, whatever, they're in the schools. They're there because they can't do it. But just kidding. But no, it's really partly true. But get out there and network. You got to be the collector of an incredible universe of opportunity. The best time ever. Best time ever to be a technology leader. And 3, take care of yourself. Mind, body, and spirit. Be grateful, be happy, and love your friends, love your neighbors, love your enemies. I know it's oversold, but you got to come to the whole game in a positive mindset, positive attitude. And then it opens up the universe for abundance. And guess what? It works, it happens. So there's your 3.
Awesome. So again, a book by the tribe, for the tribe. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Steve. Good to see you.